Today we're here to clear up the confusion you might have about credit score. First up, we've got the classic. Checking your own credit score will make it drop faster than your enthusiasm when you realize that it's Monday morning again. Oh, I just checked my credit score. Is it gonna plummet now? No, it's not. Truth is, when you are checking it from the legit source like credit bureaus themselves, then it won't hurt. That is a soft inquiry. It's only hard inquiries, the ones that made by lenders, that could change your score. So if you have a buddy that works for a car dealership or a mortgage broker and they pulled your credit as a favor, everyone is going to think you're applying for a credit, and that inquiry could lead to a lower score. Checking it yourself regularly is actually a good credit habit to practice. Next up, we've got this gem. You have to carry a balance on your credit card to build credit. Wrong. Carrying a balance doesn't build credit, it just builds stress. Carrying a balance on your credit card doesn't help your credit score. It only has the potential to hurt it, and it will end up becoming expensive over time paying interest. Not to mention, it's a waste of money to pay interest on your balance when you can actually afford to pay off the credit card bill in full each month. And this is what really boosts your score. Closing unused credit cards will boost your score. Now, if you think that sounds like a good idea, I've got a bridge to sell you. This myth is about as reliable as a cat giving you directions. When you close a credit card, you actually reduce your available credit limit, which can bump up your credit utilization ratio, the amount of credit you're using compared to what you have available. And trust me, high utilization can drag your score down faster than a contestant on a reality show getting voted off the island. Here is another myth people love to believe. The more money you make, the better your credit score. Nope, your credit score has nothing to do with how much you earn. It's based on how well you manage your debt, not how fat your paycheck is. You could be balling on a budget or rolling in cash like Scrooge McDuck. It doesn't matter. What counts is whether you pay your bills on time and don't max out your cards. Your salary and income are considered measurements of your capacity to pay bills, not your potential credit risk. A perfect credit score doesn't really matter. True, while it would be fun to say you're in the elite 850 club, there are no additional benefits of having the perfect score. No loan or credit products exist that are only available to people with perfect scores. And once you reach a certain score, you pretty much get the same benefits anyways. Now this one is for all my lovebirds out there. Getting married merges your credit scores. Yep, the old I do somehow equals we are one in credit. Newsflash, marriage is not a credit score merger. Nope, getting hitched won't combine your credit scores. You each keep your own score, so if your spouse is a credit superstar and you are still figuring out how credit cards work, their score isn't going to pull you up. And when it comes to applying for a new credit with your partner, such as filing a joint application for a mortgage, each partner's credit score is taken into the consideration by the lenders. Sorry, and no till credit score do us part. This one is tricky. People think rent and utilities don't matter to your credit score, but they can. Sure, they don't report to the bureaus directly most of the time, but if you're late enough, collections can get involved. And let me tell you, collections can wreck your score faster than a bad Yelp review. You've got more than one score. Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian all calculate your score a little differently based on what data they have. So don't get too attached to just one score. Chances are you have few different ones. This explains why the credit score you get online is different when you check yourself from the ones that lenders may pull up. I am too young to worry about credit score. False. The minimum age you can apply for credit is 18, and that is when you should start worrying about your credit score. Financial experts recommend young people start building credit as soon as possible. The length of your credit history is a big factor in your credit score, so the sooner you establish credit, the better. So you hit that submit payment and boom, 850. Well, sorry to break it to you, but that's not how it works. Not exactly. Paying off debt is great. It's fantastic actually, but credit scores take time to reflect changes. This is true for credit card debt, but not so true for installment debt, such as mortgage or student loan. While it is good for your overall financial health to be totally debt-free, you won't see a bump in your credit score if you pay off the car loan, for example. It can actually ding your score because it means having fewer credit accounts. That doesn't mean you shouldn't pay off the loan though. So you've been scrolling through social media and an ad pops up saying, boost your credit score overnight. Look, if boosting your credit scores overnight was that easy, we'd all be out here with perfect scores, don't you think? Here's the reality: there is no quick fix. Improving your credit score takes time. You can make some strategic moves like paying down credit balances, but it won't skyrocket overnight. It's a slow, steady grind, like trying to get abs. Just gotta put in the work and eventually you'll see the results. Oh yes, that data I racked up on Black Friday 5 years ago? Surely that's forgotten now, right? Wrong. It's like that embarrassing middle school picture you would wish to disappear. It's still there. Old debts, especially if they are negative, like late payments, can stick around on your credit report for up to 7 years. They are not actively messing with your score anymore, but they are still in the background, just lurking. So while older debts do fade in importance over time, they don't just vanish into thin air. A recent study by Credit Card Insider showed that 42% of people believe that using a debit card can impact your credit score. Sure, your debit card is great for spending your money, but it's doing zilch for your credit score. Debit card transactions are not reported to the credit bureaus. Debit and credit cards are two entirely different things. Since debit cards are not a form of credit, they never end up on your credit reports and thus have no influence on your credit score. So if you want to build credit, a credit card used responsibly is the way to go. Just don't treat it as a debit card or you'll find yourself in a debt spiral. Some people treat their credit score like it's set in stone, like the rules of Monopoly. But here is the thing: your credit score is not permanent. It's more like a roller coaster. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, and sometimes you're screaming in panic. Your credit score changes depending on your financial behavior. If you pay your bills on time, it goes up. Max out your credit cards and forget to pay, it goes down. So if you got a low credit score right now, don't stress, it's not a life sentence. Just make better moves and it will improve over time. Oh yes, the miracle credit repair companies that promise you they can erase all of your credit mistakes like they got some sort of magic wand. They don't, and if they did, they would be Hogwarts graduates, and last time I checked, they're not. Credit repair companies can help you dispute some errors on your credit report, but they cannot erase some negative legitimate items. If you missed a payment or defaulted on a loan, that is staying on your report. The best way to repair your credit is to handle your finances responsibly, pay your bills on time, and keep your balances low. No magic required. There is a credit blacklist. False credit bureaus are not the ones that decide your credit worthiness. That's up to lenders and creditors. Lenders and creditors use and interpret the information in your credit report their own way and may have additional criteria to evaluate your credit application. So if you get rejected by several lenders, there may be some common factors in your credit history that drives those decisions, but there is no blacklist. Imagine going for a job interview and they're like, "We love your qualifications, but we check your credit score and you are a 650? We cannot take you." Nope. Good news, employers cannot see your credit score. Here is the deal: employers can ask for a version of your credit report, but it doesn't include your credit score. And it's not the same type of report your lenders can see. They are mainly checking for red flags like unpaid debt or financial irresponsibility. And while they won't see that magic 3-digit number, they do get a peek in your financial history. So still, keep the things in order if you are job hunting. All in all, credit reports, credit scores, and credit bureaus can all seem complicated, but they don't have to be. Educate yourself on what they all mean. If you found this video helpful or just enjoyed my attempts at humor, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more financial wisdom. And I want to hear from you: what's the craziest credit myth you've heard? Drop it in the comments below. And in the next video, we'll talk more on difference between debit and credit cards. Until next time, and remember, if checking your credit score did make a drop, I'd need a support group just for that.